Welcome back to Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio. Born on June 23, 1940, Australian-born country and pop singer Diana Trask. In the early 1960s, she was a regular pop music performer on the United States TV shows Don McNeil's Breakfast Club and Sing Along with Mitch. From 1968 to 1981, she was a country music singer in the U.S. and in Australia. In the U.S., she had 18 singles on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. She called into the show so we could celebrate her on her birthday. Where did you grow up in Australia?
I grew up in Warburton, which is a small town about 60 miles out of Melbourne up in the mountains. You know, it's one of the most beautiful spots on earth. I must have done something very, very good in my past life to have ended up there. But of course, as a young person, you just think it's shutting you in. You want to get out, you know, but I went back many, many, many times. It was actually a repatriation center for all the soldiers in World War II that had, mental damage. And they built a huge hospital up there for them. And I remember seeing them walking around, the Americans, you know, they were rest and recuperation stuff. They'd come out of battle and they'd go up there in the mountains and, you know, did see a few of them around.
When did you become so interested in music?
My mom was a music teacher up in the mountains there. And she had quite a few students that would come into the home and she'd teach them at the piano. And I was the little kid that was in the background saying, I know the answer to that question.
I've searched my soul, I searched for gold. Looks like I finally found it. I've seen the rainbows in time and again, and walk completely around it. But this must be my ship. See it coming in. This must be my ship. See it coming in. This must be my ship coming in. This must be my ship. See it coming in. I said it must be my ship. See it coming in. This must be my ship coming in, coming in, coming in. I've been insane in Georgia in the rain. I know that's hard to define. I've been on the wrong road, lonely and cold, but giving up never crossed my mind. This must be my ship. See it coming in. This must be my ship. See it coming in. This must be my ship coming in. This must be my ship. See it coming in. I said it must be my ship. See it coming in. This must be my ship coming in, coming in, coming in. I found a gypsy black rose near the garden where it grows. Lives an old man and they say it's crazy. You can't prove it by me, 'cause in my memory is the one that taught me the truth that finally saved me. Hey, this must be my ship. See it coming. This must be my ship. See it coming. This must be my ship coming in. This must be my ship. See it coming. Said it must be my ship. See it coming. This must be my ship coming in, coming in, coming in. This must be my ship. See it coming. This must be my ship. See it coming. This must be my ship coming in. This must be my ship. This must be my ship. This must be.
And you opened up for Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. in Australia?
Yes, when they came down to Australia, they needed what we called Australian content, you know, in their shows. So I got the job, and because I'd been singing around Melbourne and Sydney. I had gone to Sydney when I was 17, and much to my parents' horror, and went up there and started, you know, banging around the nightclubs and getting to know the musicians and what have you. And I had a wonderful friend who kind of took care of me up there, just a friend I met up there, who was an actor, and he was sort of like my brother, and used to call me the Virgin Mary, because I was a convent girl, you know, in this nightlife. So he was very careful looking after me, and I was very lucky in that way. So I got a reputation, as a singer, and so I was hired by Lee Gordon, who was the promoter of all the big American shows that went down to Australia, as the front end act for all of the incoming American acts. So I was the Australian content, and I got to fly all over Australia and be with the big stars, and it was quite a heady experience for a young 17, 18-year-old girl, believe me.
It's so warm in here. Outside the night is clear. Think I need a warm. Have myself a little talk. Sleep, baby, sleep. While your mama walks the street tonight to think about your daddy, boy. Oh boy, the mood I'm in, the pain I feel in missing him, oh boy. Oh boy, I can't explain. He haunts my mind and wrecks my brain. I could call every home, every neighborhood bar, ride every Greyhound and railroad car to find him and say, hey, wherever you are, come on home, we love boy. So I walk and weep through the downtown streets. I wander sadly. Oh, the mood I'm in, the pain I feel in missing him. Oh boy, I can't explain. He haunts my mind and wrecks my brain. I could call every home, every neighborhood bar, ride every Greyhound and railroad car to find him and say, hey, wherever you are, come on home, we love boy. The mood I'm in, the pain I feel in missing him, oh boy. The mood I'm in, the pain I feel in missing.
And music was my savior because it's an international language, But I did play all the dumps in the world, And then one day I got a phone call from Mitch Miller, and he said he wanted to record me and see how I sounded. So he paid for a session in Chicago, and I went in there with just a small band and did a few songs and sent them to him. And he called me back, said, I want to talk to you. I want to do a big television show, so I want to talk to you about it. So I said, gee, I think I'll make time for that one. And we got together, and he explained to me he was putting together this television show, which was like sing-along, and my heart sank because I was into jazz at the time, And I thought, oh no, this is going to be the corniest thing in the world. But of course I didn't turn it down.
To the ends of the earth, I follow my star. The ends of the earth, to be where you are. No matter where you roam, I'll never be far behind. Who cares where the path may wind, as long as I find you? Though the melody dies, the song lingers on, and 1,000 goodbyes won't convince me you're gone. I'll follow you, my love, you'll never be free. To the ends of the earth, till you've given your love to me. of the earth. I'll follow my star to the ends of the earth, just to be where you are. No matter where you roam, I'll never be far behind. Who cares where the path may wind, as long as I find you. Though the melody dies, the song lingers on, and 1,000 goodbyes won't convince me you're gone. I'll follow you, my love, you'll never be free, to the ends of the earth till you've given your love to me.
So I just didn't like the idea of going to England. I said, because I used to watch Leave It to Beaver. You know that show?
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, golly gee, Wally. And I thought they were just wonderful people. I thought, gee, I'd like to go and live with people like that, see what it's like. And plus, I had been rubbing shoulders with all the great Americans that came down, and asking them 1,000 questions, and they all took me under their wing. They were just absolutely wonderful to me. Especially Nat King Cole's brother and his wife. I don't know if you even know he has a brother.
Oh, I don't.
No, well, he had a brother down there and his wife, and they were just fabulous to me, and there was many stars like that just went out of their way to explain it to me. And I should come to America.
Unforgettable, that's what you are. Unforgettable, though near or far. Like a song of love that clings to me, how the thought of you does things to me. Never before has someone been more unforgettable in every way. And forevermore, that's how you stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
So I went to New York and tried around there, did a few things, but somebody suggested to my husband, why don't you take her to Nashville and see how she'd do doing country music? Well, when Tom said that to me, I thought I would be doing hillbilly, hillbilly. And he said, well, look, don't make a decision. Just listen to that music for, a couple of weeks and then tell me your decision. So I listened to it and I found singers that were talking about my life. It wasn't some fancy pie in the sky thing. It was like, getting up in the morning and doing the washing and, real relationships, great singers, great songwriters, not with all the strings and all the hooly-pa, just plain old rhythm sections, but boy, those writers were incredible. They were right on, you know. So I developed a real interest in it, and so we decided to up and move to Nashville.
And you recorded Patsy Cline, I Fall to Pieces?
And then I recorded I Fall to Pieces, went up the charts, yes, and I was nominated for the top country music singer of the year, so that was fantastic. Mm-hmm.
Do you know who won that year?
Yeah, Tammy Wynette, Stand By Your Man.
You should have won. Sorry.
I fall to pieces each time I see you again. I fall to pieces. How can I be just your friend? You want me to act like we've never kissed. You want me to forget, pretend we've never met. And I've tried, but I haven't yet. You walk by, and I fall to pieces. I fall to pieces each time someone speaks your name. I fall to pieces. Time only adds to the flame. You tell me to find someone else to love, someone who'll love me too, the way you used to do. But each time I go with somebody new, you walk by and I fall to pieces. You walk by and I fall to pieces.
Coming up on Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio, part 2 of my interview with Diana Trask. She tells stories about touring with Hank Williams Jr. Y'all come back now, you hear? John Air takes pride in providing affordable HVAC service that is convenient and reliable. Air conditioning and heating systems are vital to the comfort and ambience of your home. For dependable quality service, call John Air at 775-751-2372.